Hello everyone. In this lesson we will learn about categories. Before we ask ourselves the question, what is a category? Let's begin by looking at our website and giving ourselves a goal. So our goal for this lesson is to add 2 new links to the main navigation menu. One link will be named Travel and the other will be named Recipes. When we click on travel, it should take us to a listing of only blog posts that are related to travel. And when we click on recipes, it should take us to a listing of only blog posts that include recipes. In order to achieve this, we are going to leverage something called categories. Let's begin by jumping over to our admin dashboard and creating a few dummy filler example blog posts. So I will use this link in my top bar to jump to the admin area. And then in my left-hand sidebar, I will look for posts. And within this menu, I will use Add New. All right, now on my example website, travel is going to be one of my categories. So I might name one of my blog posts, Trip to the West Coast. But in your case, when you're following along, feel free to make up whatever category you want. Maybe instead of travel-related blog posts, you have blog posts related to automobiles or computers or the stock exchange or the weather or I don't know, anything, right? So feel free to use whatever content you want. Down here in this field, I will just paste in a bit of lorem ipsum dummy content. And now here is the important part. Over in the right-hand column, if we scroll down a little bit, notice this box named Categories. As of this moment, I don't have any categories. So you can see that the only box I have here to check is something called Uncategorized. So what I can do is use this Add New Category link. So if I click this, Add New Category, now I have this empty text field, and I'm just going to type Travel, and then scroll down a little bit, and now I can click this Add New Category button. Perfect. So I just created a new category named Travel, and you can see that this box is checked, and that's my way of telling WordPress that this new post that I'm creating, Trip to the West Coast, should be categorized under the Travel category. All right, this looks good. So now I'm going to use the Publish button in the top right corner to save that blog post. Perfect. Here we see the success message, Post Published. Now, just so we have a bit more content to experiment with, I'm going to create another new blog post under the travel category. So I can use this Add New button here, or in my sidebar, I can use this Add New button. So I will create another new blog post named Trip to the East Coast. And then in this field, I'll just paste in the dummy content again. Scroll down a little bit, and in the right-hand column, I'm looking for this categories box. And I will check travel, and then I will save or publish this post. While I'm at it, I will create another new post, so a third travel-related post. So add new, I will title this one, Trip to the Midwest. Paste in a bit of filler content. Scroll down a bit. Within this categories box, choose travel. Use this publish button to save this post. All right, so now I have my 3 example travel posts. Next, I'm going to create 3 example recipe posts. So again, I will use this Add New button. I will title this blog post Easy Spaghetti. Paste in a bit of filler content. And here's the important part. Down in the right-hand column, within this categories box, I do not want to assign this Easy Spaghetti post to the travel category. Instead, I want to create a new category. I want to add a new one. So click Add New Category. Within this box, I will type Recipes, and then click the Add New Category button. Perfect. So with this Recipes checkmark checked, I can just scroll up and publish or save this post. All right, so that's one example recipe post. Let's create another one. So add new. I will name this post Homemade French Bread, and then paste in a bit of dummy content. Scroll down, look within this box, check the recipes category. Then go ahead and publish or save this post. And finally, let's create one additional recipe post. So add new. I will title this one Greek salad. Paste in my content. Scroll down. Be sure to check the recipes checkbox under categories and then publish. All right, so at this point, I have all of my example posts ready to go. And if I switch back to my public-facing website, here's the home page, and we can see all of the posts that we just created. All right, and remember, our goal is to add new links in our main navigation area of travel and recipes. And when we click on one of those links, we want to see a filtered listing of only that category of posts. So to add our two links to this navigation menu, I'm just going to jump back to the admin portion of my website using this top left link. In the sidebar, I'm going to look for Appearance. And then within this pop-out menu, I will look for the item named Menus. All right, so here are the links that are currently in our main navigation menu. And remember, we've used this area several times in the course so far. This is a listing of all available pages, but you'll notice below that area, we see a few other options: posts, custom links, and categories. So if we click on this categories area, now we are presented with a list of all of our categories. And if I click on travel and then add to menu, that will add a link to the travel category in our main menu. I also want to add a link to the recipes, so I will check that. You could have checked both of them at the same time and then just clicked add to menu. All right, there we see it. Now I want the contact us page to be the last link in the menu, so I'm just going to drag and drop it here. All right, the menu looks good to me, so I will click the blue Save Menu button. And now if I jump back to the public-facing front end of my website, here's the home page, but if I use the navigation menu to click on Travel, perfect. So here we see a filtered listing of only travel-related posts. So trip to the Midwest, trip to the East Coast, trip to the West Coast. And if I scroll back up and click on Recipes, beautiful. We see Greek salad, homemade French bread, and easy spaghetti. Now this is a great setup because maybe a week from now we'll come back to our website and want to add a new recipe, and all we need to do is create a new post and assign it to the recipes category, and it will automatically show up at the very top of our recipes page. Now at this point you might be thinking to yourself, okay, so I'm starting to get the grasp of things. Now I know how to create a dedicated page for only recipe blog posts, and I have a dedicated page for travel-related blog posts. Your next thought might be that maybe you don't want your home page. So if I click this logo to go back to my home page, now maybe you don't want your home page to just be a generic blog listing of all categories. Right? So instead, maybe you want your home page to feature static content, content that welcomes the visitors to the website, and maybe features some of your top content. You get the idea. Not everyone wants their homepage to be a generic blog listing. So in our next lesson, we will learn how to create a custom homepage. You will learn how to make your homepage contain whatever content you want it to have, and perhaps you want to move your generic all categories blog listing to a new page named blog, and maybe include a link to that in the main navigation menu. Or maybe you just don't want a generic all categories blog listing at all. Maybe you only want these filtered category blog pages. It's totally up to you, right? This is your website and you can structure it however you please. All right, so coming up next, we will learn how to create a custom homepage. Should be a ton of fun. Let's keep rolling, and I will see you in the next lesson.